Are we living in a matrix-like supercomputer simulation, devised by a more advanced post-human beings? The simulation theory was first introduced by Nick Bostrom, a professor at Oxford University, and the idea is that we may be living in a matrix-like universe. It contends that our technology is progressing at such a pace that in the near future, we will have the ability to simulate entire universes jammed with details as complex as our present one. Moreover, these simulated universes would also contain genuinely conscious beings as a result of the advanced capabilities of the simulation, and they would also be capable of being self-aware and think as we do. These mortal beings could be indistinguishable from us in terms of their imagination, innovation, and consciousness. The only distinction is that their life origins are from artificial design rather than the physical world that has given us life. They would also be competent in advancing to technological progression at which they could devise and administer simulations of their own, and so there could be simulations inside of simulations. Therefore, billions of universes could exist in a simulated chain with only one core reality, a real world, at its source. Once we accept this probability, we have to consider that these odds apply to us as well. Furthermore, according to the simulation theory, we are very likely to live in a simulation than in an actual world. Here are our top 5 considerations that further promote the simulation theory. First, DNA that contains a computer virus. In 2017, a multidisciplinary group of researchers at the University of Washington demonstrated that they could insert malicious computer code into physical strands of DNA. They aimed to prove that computers working in gene sequencing were vulnerable to attack. But they may have also inadvertently revealed that what we perceive to be biological reality was in fact a computer code all along. Second, we are already creating simulations. In 2014, the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics connected 8,000 computers to produce a 350 million light-year simulation of our universe and digitally aged at over 13 billion years. In addition, there is a video game series of life simulations called The Sims that has sold over 125 million copies worldwide. So if and when a future version of humanity finds themselves able to create more realistic simulations, it would not be surprising if they opted to use it. Third, quarks with computer code. Theoretical physicist James Gates from the University of Maryland maintains he has discovered strange, error-correcting computer codes embedded in the equations of string theory that represent the fundamental particles of our universe. Additionally, he states he found error-correcting codes, which are what also makes web browsers work, and finding that type of code in a universe that is not computed is extremely unlikely. Fourth, electrons that can't make up their minds. In physics' famous double-slit experiment, electrons are discharged at a photosensitive screen through slits in a copper plate, usually producing an interference pattern that indicates wave-like behavior. But when the same experiment is administered under observation, electrons behave like particles, not waves, and there's no interference pattern. Some have taken this to mean our simulation conserves its resources and renders certain things only when it knows we're looking at them. Fifth, video games that resemble real life. One of Nick Bostrom's most famous supporters advocating this theory is Elon Musk, who points out as how advanced video games presently are. He explains that 40 years ago, we had Pong, a game consisting of 2 rectangles and a dot. In contrast, we now have realistic 3D games with millions of users playing simultaneously. Additionally, suppose we are to consider any degree of continuous progress. In that case, it becomes clear that we are on a trajectory of having the technology to create games indistinguishable from reality, thus giving credence to this theory, even if that rate of advancement falls below what it is now. Ultimately, the truth is that the rapid advancement of computer modeling and AI research boosts the likelihood that one day we humans might create realistic simulations comprised of self-aware digital beings. That likelihood is both exciting and disturbing. But, unfortunately, it also introduces a new set of questions. For instance, Would this simulation within a simulation be the end? Or could our simulated beings keep going and create yet another layer of simulation? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. As always, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed.